They saw miracles upon miracles. But yet these people who were, even when Moses was going for the 10 commandments, they were there telling Aaron that build an idol for us. These are the people we are talking about here. So God's plan in coming to save us is more important than somebody marrying 4 or 20 women and satisfying them and making them happy. It is more important than those things. So if you can marry 20,000 women and satisfy them, treat them equally, God has no problem because he knows your nature. That will not corrupt his plan to come and save the world. But when you break the Sabbath, you forget God is that. But you can practice polygamy in the Old Testament and still be serving God like Solomon and Moses and the rest. But when you refuse to obey the Sabbath day, you are forgetting God is that. Because God said, remember me on that day. So, man, you see the danger behind the Old Testament. People are not getting it. If Sabbath is killing people and polygamy is not killing people, these are the reason behind why Sabbath was so serious and polygamy was not serious. Because at the end of the day, the women to God say, if you cannot treat them well, stay with one.
Exactly.
That's why he told them in Exodus 21 verse 10 that you should treat them equally. Make sure you treat them the same. Whatever you are giving to the first wife, when the second woman can, make sure you continue giving to the woman. Don't come and tell the woman that because I brought other women, you know that my demand now is high, so please let me do. No, you are the one who brought it upon yourself. Obey it. He's guiding them, not means he's giving them a command of polygamy. Read the Bible and see where God said polygamy is good. Go and be practicing polygamy. Man, it's every good thing God wanted them to do. God gave them law. He gave it to Moses. And when they were fooling around, God came to give another law. That law is what I'm saying is the shadow of the reality. Divorce was one part of the law. It is not God's original plan for them. But because of their foolishness and their hardened hearts, divorce came into the picture. The same thing, polygamy instructions came into the picture because of their stupid hearts. That is what I'm telling you after Matthew 19 is there. So if you say why was it allowed, why was it allowed? The allowed is because of their nature. If you have a child in the house, you say you have 7 daughters, you even conclude that they are humans. But the way you think, your daughters will not think that way. Because you are mature than them. And you have experience more than them. There are things that you will not do, they will go and do. And you have to pardon them. Why will you pardon them? You are pardoning them not because they are only humans. You are pardoning them because they are matured. Their level of intellect is not compared to your own. So there are things you will not do, but there are things that they will do. And sometimes the pepper must go into their eyes for them to know that, hey, Adiawe, my father told me I shouldn't go there. So God was treating them as his children. Read the Bible. The Bible said God is a father to the Israelites. So he sees them as people with weak nature. And he allowed them in that. But yet these people still fear God. They obeyed God. They keep his commandment. That is the most important. But if you don't want to obey God and forget about God, that one God will kill you. That's why Sabbath was killing people. But polygamy didn't kill anybody. So what God did by enduring all this nature and coming to give us his divine nature in the New Testament to make us escape those last desires. If you go back and practice those polygamy, you are sinning. It's called sin. Marriage, not going against God's plan is sin. God doesn't need to state it that it is sin. Going against his plan means sin. All the men of God that are out there, all the bishop and the archbishop and the pastors, they should come and tell me that if somebody goes against God's plan, is it a sin or it's not a sin? They keep saying, show me the exact way. Show me emphatically. Why in the Bible Jesus said, I'm God, worship me? Show me in the Bible where Jesus said he's God. Aren't you going out saying Jesus is God? Did Jesus ever say I am God, worship me? But why are you saying he's God? Because he explained it. He said, I'm the resurrection and the life. And you have to know as a knowledgeable person that only God is the resurrection. Only God is the life. So if a man is claiming to be that life, that automatically is God. A rich man can show you his house and you know he's a rich man. He doesn't need to tell you anything. If Jesus Christ is saying, I can raise the dead by my power, I will die and come back on the third day by my power, I am the resurrection and the life, which we know only the creator is the resurrection. Does he need to tell you before you know that he's God? And he is proving it with evidence. That's the same thing to polygamy. It's not there that it is sin, but it is explaining itself that it goes against God's plan. And anything that goes against God's plan is a sin.
Anyway,
God said, I hate adultery. If you do it, you are going against God's plan. You are sinning. God said, don't kill your brother. If you kill your brother, are you not going against God's plan? It's a sin. So I cannot show you emphatically where the Bible says polygamy is a sin. But I am using the purpose of God for humanity, the plan of God, the original plan of God, to prove to you that polygamy is a sin according to God's plan. And the Bible is speaking. So if it was allowed, Sabbath, so according to common sense will tell you that God's supposed to kill polygamy preachers than Sabbath breakers. Oh yes, because polygamy itself was killing people. Polygamy itself, look at Joseph, he would have died.